Hey there, Chuck. I was just wondering if you knew where the materials that we were going to use for the meeting were? I see some of it in the documents here, but this isn't everything. Do you happen to have the rest of them? What the heck do you think you're doing messaging me at this time, huh? You think I climbed this high in the corporate ladder so that I could have some nobody bothering me after work hours? What materials are you even talking about? I am talking about the things that we need for the meeting that we're going to be having tomorrow. I thought that our department head assigned you to get those ready for tomorrow, didn't she? Oh, those documents. I think the ones that you're talking about, I know. I just figured that since the meeting isn't gonna be until the afternoon, that I could wait until tomorrow morning to get the rest of them done. No, hold on a second. You were going to wait until tomorrow to get all those documents done? Don't you remember that we got the memo from the headquarters saying that they wanted to move the meeting from tomorrow afternoon to 10 in the morning? Wait, what? When was this? I don't remember any memo going out about changing the meeting time. But Chuck, you were the one that forwarded us all of that when it came through. Don't you remember doing that? Are you kidding me? Did I really do that? I don't remember anything of the sort. But you even told us that in the same email that you were gonna make the materials ahead of schedule and you were gonna get them done so that we can review them before the meeting. Did I really say that? I don't have the slightest memory about any of that. Well, there was even the bit in the memo where we could respond and that we had all seen it and marked them as read as well. But is this really true? I don't remember doing any of this at all. Chuck, you seriously need to go back to the office and finish up all these documents right away. Actually, I don't think I'm gonna do that. You're my subordinate. You should do it all. Hold on a minute. You're really gonna give me all the work just because you were leaving to do them at the last minute? That's right. I'm your boss, and I have a right to distribute work as I see fit. So now it's your problem and not mine. Look, Chuck, I'm really sorry, but I've got to make materials for another meeting, so I have my hands full with that. If you're really making materials for one, then surely you should be able to handle making enough for two. It's hardly even more work for you at that point. Well, I just think that it's gonna take me a lot of time to get everything done in time. You really are a lazy guy, you know that. When I first heard that we were hiring someone with only a high school diploma, I was wondering what the higher-ups would be thinking. But now I see that my first impression of you was right. You have no idea what you're talking about at all, so let me make this very clear to you. You will do what I say when I say it. You know that you can't just treat the employees like this, right? I mean, you're not being fair at all. No, I am being more than fair right now. In fact, I'm giving you special training so that you'll become an even better employee. That is why you're gonna do the work that I give to you, and you're gonna be thankful for the opportunity to prove yourself to me. Anyways, I'm just getting home right now, so make sure you have everything done by tomorrow, got it? Chuck, wait, you can't do this. Hey, George, are you there? I just heard the big news. Is it true that you really got married? I had no idea that you were even dating anyone. Hello, Chuck. Are you wanting to know more about my marriage? Well, I just heard about it from the first time from someone in the office when we were in the break room together. I really didn't know that you were about to get married. Well, I was, and am now, I guess. Is there anything else that you'd like to know? Is it true that when you got married, you also bought a house at the same time? Actually, we haven't bought anything yet, but we are already talking about buying a home for the two of us, yes. Now that my wife and I are married, we have a lot of big decisions to make about our future. I don't believe it. You mean to tell me that some loser who can only have a high school diploma can afford to get married and is thinking about buying a house? You really have got some nerve, you know that? I mean, just who do you think you are? You think you're better than me or something? Here we go again. I just mean that if you're married, then your wife must be a bit of a weirdo, too. If this lady thinks it's a good idea to marry someone in your position, then you're either lying to her, or there's something wrong with her, too. Maybe you're just with her because she's all messed up and does crazy stuff in the bedroom. Is that why you two are married? Chuck, I don't care at all what you have to say to me. You can insult me and put me down all you want. But I draw the line at you saying anything that vulgar about my wife, do you understand me? Excuse me? Just who do you think you're talking to like that? You seriously have got some nerve. I just want to make something clear with you, Chuck. The reason that I wasn't able to go to college after I finished high school was because my dad died. My family didn't have the money to send me to college after that. I had to work to help take care of the rest of my family. So I really appreciate it if you would stop talking to me as if you know my life or what I've gone through before I got here, okay? Because not only is it rude, but it's also against the rules of how you can treat people in the office. As a department supervisor, you need to choose your words more carefully, and think about what the boss should and shouldn't be saying in the office. Just who in the world do you think you are, telling me how I can and can't talk in the office, huh? Do you think you're the boss around here? Who died and made you the compliance officer for the whole office? Well, I don't think that anyone died, but you are right that I have been selected as this year's compliance officer. Wait, are you serious? You're really the CEO for the office this year? That's right. Anyways, I got a meeting with our department heads to attend to and some clients, so I gotta leave now. Hold on just one second. Are you telling me that you're working directly with the department heads? But you can't just skip over me and work with her. What the heck is going on here? How is someone who doesn't even have a college degree like you doing this, huh? I want to be there too. You tell me where you all are right now. If you want to go look at the office schedule board, all this should already be written there in a very clear way to understand, manager. I'll be going straight home after this, however, so I really do have to get going right now. Hey, we're not through here! Don't you run away from me, I still have things I gotta ask you!
Hey there, George. I just wanted to let you know that I think you did a really great job today. It seems to me like you've been making some real great improvements ever since you started working there.
Thank you so much. It really means a lot to me that you're saying that. And I certainly didn't expect to be treated to Lucy's cooking after we finished work.
Well, she was really hoping to get to do that with you, actually. I told her that we were going to be working together, and then you were going home after a meeting. But when I told her, she told me to invite you over for dinner instead. She was so excited that she told me that she was going to go out right away and buy something to cook for us to dinner.
Well, thank you so much for your kindness. It really does mean so much to me.
Well, I'm not the one that you should be saying thanks to, you know?
You're right. Please tell Lucy how grateful I am for her thinking about me like that. Tell her the dinner was delicious.
Of course, I'll be sure to do that. And I'm sorry to be asking you to work a little tomorrow even though it's Saturday.
You mean about seeing you off at the train station? I can do that, no problem. You wanted me to pick you up and take you over at about 8 in the morning, right?
Yeah, that would be perfect. Thank you so much for that.
Hey, George, do you really live in a place like this? I really can't believe it. I was really surprised when you told me the company made you the compliance officer. I thought it meant that you were in there with some of the bigwigs here. And you have a place like this, too? I have to say that I'm actually just a bit impressed by this. I mean, I never would have guessed you to have a place like this, but it doesn't change the fact that you still don't even have a degree from a university. You're still a no one. You really must think that just because you have this job that you can try and get a leg up on everyone, huh? Well, just know that I'll never let you forget who you really are. Hey there, George, I just wanted to let you know that I'm having a really great barbecue. I was gonna invite you to it as well, but I heard that you were going to be out of town doing something. Hello there, Chuck. Sorry, I'm not quite sure what you're talking about, actually. What is this about? Oh, I didn't tell ya. I was gonna be having a little barbecue party, and I was thinking of inviting you, but I guess you weren't here to be able to enjoy it. Well, yeah, I did have something to do this morning, but it's not like I'm out of town or anything like that. I'm actually already home right now. Oh man, this meat is good, and you're not gonna get to eat any of it. Okay. You enjoy that, I guess, Chuck. Hey George, you still there? I got something to tell you about right now, so answer me as soon as you get this message, okay? Hello again, Chuck? Yeah, I normally don't hear anything from you this often when it's the weekend, so what is it this time? Oh, I just wanted to let you know that I was having a barbecue at your house and there was a fire. Wait, what? A fire? You had a fire at your barbecue party? Is everyone okay? Well, I'm actually going home, but I was having the barbecue party at your house, so anyways, good luck putting that fire out. I'm gonna come back once the fire is put out to get all my supplies that I brought over, but you might want to deal with the fire going on in your lawn, bro. Hold on just 1 second, Chuck. Wait, you're telling me that you don't actually live in a house, like you live in an apartment? Yeah, I have an apartment room on the 3rd floor of my building, actually. So I'm not really sure what you mean when you say that you were having a barbecue at my house, much less my lawn. Hold on a second, what do you mean? Are you serious about all this? I am. Did you even bother calling the fire department about any of this? No, I was gonna leave it all to you, actually. Well, you better call them right now, because wherever you are, that isn't my house. No, Cecile, well, what an honor it is getting a message straight from you. It isn't every day that I hear from you. Please tell me what I can do for you. To what do I owe the honor?
I was just wanting to talk to you about this business with you, trying to start a fire at the house of one of our employees?
Oh, right, of course. Well, the one thing I was trying to do was pull a prank on George, and I think it went kind of a little wrong. He told me that I could have a barbecue at his house if I wanted to, but then he gave me the wrong address, so anyway, I ended up going to the wrong house, and I guess you know the rest from there.
Right, well, that so-called wrong house was actually my house.
Wait, I'm sorry, what? That was your house?
That's right, it was my house, and I wouldn't have minded as much if there was just a little bit of damage. But the thing is that the fire spread to my prize-winning rose garden and completely destroyed it.
So, it really was your house then? You really mean that?
That's right. It was my house. And I just want you to know that I'm going over the damage that you've caused. Not only to the roses, but to my garden in general, as well as a tree that was designated as historic by the city. So just know that I am going to be charging you for all of that.
You're really gonna make me pay for all that? Are you serious? How could you do this to me? You never told me the house that you were sending me to was Cecile's. I didn't send you anything, although I did hear from one of Cecile's neighbors that they weren't able to put out the fire in time, that they did remember talking to you. They told me that you told them that you had permission from Cecile to do what you were doing. You're honestly lucky that your fire didn't end up burning the whole house down, you know that? I mean, did you really do all that just because you thought that it was my house? But, I mean, you told me that, you just got married and had gotten a new house, so I thought that I would go and check out what the new house was that you were living in. Yeah, and that's why I was saying that I was really surprised about your house. I had no idea how a little nobody like you could afford such an amazing place with a perfect yard like that! I see. So basically you're saying that you thought that Cecile's house was actually mine? But, I mean, I saw you go up to this house after you finished up with work the other day. So how is it that you don't live there? Are you talking about a couple of days ago, when I went home from work that day? That's right! I just happened to see your car while I was out, and so I got into mine, and I thought that I would follow you home, so I could make fun of where you lived. And then, when you arrived, there was some pretty lady that came outside to greet you, so I was sure that you must have been, where you were living with your wife. Well, I don't know what else to say, but that's not my house, and that is not where I live with my wife. But how can that be? What did I even see then? You do remember that I told you that I was talking with my wife about where we were gonna live, right? I told you that we were still talking about where our house was gonna be. Did you really say that to me? I don't remember that at all. Are you sure that's what you told me about where you and your wife would be living? That's right. I'm sure that I told you that my wife and I hadn't decided on where we were gonna live yet. I'm sure that if you scroll up throughout our other conversations that you will say that I told you just that much as well. But then, I don't understand. Why were you going to Cecile's house then? Well, that would be because after I finished work the other day, I was invited there by Cecile, if you must know. And the other person who came out to greet me was actually Cecile's daughter, my wife. You're kidding me! That's right, so basically you thought that my mother-in-law's house was my house because my wife is still living there while we settled on a good place to move to. But then, what does that mean for me? What's gonna happen now? That sounds like something that's gonna be settled between you and Cecile. In the end, Chuck was fired. Not only was his out-of-work conduct considered unacceptable, but HR acted on the many reports of his non-compliance with office rules that I made. I imagine that he was probably charged with some kind of mix of breaking and entering and arson, but I never really asked Cecile what she did after Chuck was fired. Thank you for watching. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to see more content like this.
That's terrible, Stella. Why didn't you invite me to today's wedding? We're dear childhood friends from kindergarten. What? It's just unbelievable. Ever since I heard that you were getting married, I've been looking forward to it all this time. And yet, I'm the only one who didn't get an invitation. Wait a minute, Anna. Why are you angry? Huh? Of course I'm angry. You've invited all our friends to today's wedding. Why didn't you invite me? Well, I got a reply that you were unable to attend. What? I did send an invitation to our wedding, Anna. But you responded that you couldn't attend right away. So why am I the one who has to be scolded? What's this about me not being able to attend? I didn't receive the invitation in the first place. What on earth is going on? I definitely sent it and immediately received a reply from you that you couldn't attend. You wouldn't forget that you had replied, would you? But I don't remember at all. I really don't remember replying like that. There's no way I'd miss my dear childhood friend's wedding. What on earth is going on? From now, we can't make headway like this. I'm sorry, but can you come here right away? The wedding is over, but there's an after party at a different venue. There's no way I can do that. I didn't know today was your wedding. I'm currently on a trip to Chicago. What? You're in Chicago? It's an anniversary trip with my boyfriend. While I was on the move, I happened to check social media, and I saw a girl who was attending your wedding post about the ceremony. That's how I found out about your wedding today. It's impossible to rush from Chicago. And it's an important anniversary trip with your boyfriend. It's mysterious and sad how this happened. But let's enjoy today's wedding and anniversary trip. When things settle down, why don't the two of us go out for a meal? That's true. There's nothing we can do. I'll contact you when I get back. Let's go for a meal and find out why this happened. You're a dear childhood friend to me too. I never intended to exclude you. Please believe that.
Hey, I heard about it. Your wedding ended in a terrible way. Such a pity that your long-awaited wedding was ruined.
What? Jace? Why do you, my ex, know about my ceremony today?
I just happened to hear it from an acquaintance, so I heard that your precious wedding was ruined. Well, even though we broke up, you're a woman I once fell for. It pains me to hear that such a woman had a sad wedding.
Huh?
Your dear childhood friend didn't attend your wedding, and all the other friends you invited canceled at the last minute. Apparently, they got the date and location wrong. Wow, it's too tragic to laugh at.
Wait!
In the end, it's too crazy that there were 0 guests from the bride's side. It's the first time I've heard of a wedding where the bride is so pitiful. If you want to cry, I'll lend you my chest as your ex.
I don't need your chest. Besides, my wedding went smoothly without any issues. Many friends came to the event and it was not ruined at all.
What? Many of your friends came? Didn't they all cancel?
No, none of them canceled. So why did you, Jace, think my wedding was ruined? You said you happened to hear it from an acquaintance. But who told you such a story?
No.
Or maybe you were the one who wanted to ruin it. Actually, I received a lot of messages from the friends I sent invitations to. After they received the invitations, they received emails changing the venue and schedule, and they were wondering if these were really emails from me.
What?
Apparently, they were sent in my name, but from an unknown email address, so they were suspicious. My friends are very responsible, so they properly confirm things like this.
Really? So no one fell for the fake email?
A fake email? You were the one who sent that email, Jace. I was busy preparing for the ceremony until the last minute, so I didn't have time to look for the culprit. So I had no choice but to leave it be. I never thought the culprit would contact me.
You bastard. I wish at least a few people had cancelled. It's boring that no one fell for it.
Boring? Why did you do such a harassment? With one misstep, my wedding could really have been ruined.
The wedding of a woman who dumped me can be ruined. It should be ruined, you idiot.
Huh?
I was planning to get back together with you as usual, but you started dating another man without even refusing me. And you're even getting married. What a joke. A loose woman like you deserves to have her wedding ruined.
I told you when we broke up, didn't I? I was tired of breaking up and getting back together over trivial fights. I made it clear that this time we're really breaking up. And yet, you selfishly expected a reunion and got angry. What a selfish person you are.
Shut up. You found a new boyfriend just a month after breaking up with me. You must have been cheating with the groom. You just switched from me to the groom, you loose woman.
Don't insult me and him. I met him and started dating after I broke up with you.
Who could believe such a lie? So I thought I'd punish you a bit. That's why I sent emails pretending to be you, and even sent a reply of absence pretending to be your childhood friend Anna.
Wait a minute. Speaking of which, how could you send an absentee reply? I can understand if you pretend to be me and send emails to everyone, but how did you steal the invitation from my childhood friend?
It's easy. Because I'm Anna's boyfriend now. I can go to Anna's house anytime. And it's easy to steal a wedding invitation from her mailbox in advance.
What? Jace is Anna's boyfriend?
I was pissed off that you started dating another guy right after me. I thought you would be jealous if you knew that I was dating your precious childhood friend. And you would immediately dump your new guy.
What?
And yet, you ignored my feelings and decided to get married in no time. I was stunned when I saw your wedding invitation, but I soon came up with a way to ruin your ceremony. I thought I'd annoy you a little bit. Well, unfortunately, my harassment ended in a big failure.
You must be kidding. You approached my precious childhood friend for such a silly reason?
Oh, but rest assured, at first I was just using her, but now I'm taking care of her in my own way. Who would have thought that she works for a big company and makes more money than me? On top of that, she's the type who serves me devotedly, so I like her.
Huh?
I approached her childhood friend, in hopes of getting back together with you, or ruining your wedding. Now, I'm just lucky to have scored such a great woman. So, nice to meet you as your childhood friend's boyfriend. I have no more feelings for a loose woman like you. I'm frustrated that I couldn't ruin your wedding, but I don't care anymore.
I don't care about you anymore either. So let's break up, Jace.
What?
Wow, I can't believe you're Stella's ex-boyfriend. And you didn't even like me, you just wanted to use me. I can't believe I couldn't attend my precious childhood friend's wedding because of a jerk like you. This is the biggest stain on my life.
Oh, is that... Could it be Anna? No way, right? Anna is on an anniversary trip with me in Chicago right now.
Sorry, Jace. I've already snuck out of that anniversary trip. Somehow, I managed to hop on a plane, and just now I made it to the after party.
What?
I was a bit late for the after party, but I'm glad I was able to attend my precious childhood friend's wedding like this. I really wanted to say congratulations on her wedding day.
Huh? What do you mean you snuck out? You were next to me just a moment ago, right? Chicago and New York are not distances that can be traveled in seconds, right?
So, you didn't even notice that I had snuck out. Well, I guess if you're constantly fiddling with your phone, you wouldn't notice that I had quietly disappeared from your side.
Why would you leave me and go back to New York? Today is our important anniversary trip.
What anniversary trip? You just didn't want me to find out about Stella's wedding. So you took me along, didn't you? You kept telling me to turn off my phone, because you wanted me to focus on the trip today. I had a feeling something was suspicious.
Oh no, that's...
And yet, you were constantly looking at your phone during the trip. You were collecting information about Stella's wedding being ruined, weren't you? It's not fun to go on an anniversary trip with a boyfriend whose mind is elsewhere.
I'm sorry for constantly touching my phone, and that I didn't want you to find out that I had sent an absentee reply on your behalf. So I'm not lying when I say I took you on this anniversary trip. But I wanted to celebrate our anniversary in my own way. It's cruel to leave without saying anything.
Oh, so you did have the intention to properly celebrate your anniversary. So it was the worst anniversary trip ever. It was the right decision to cut off such a boring trip and go home quickly.
What? Boring? This trip? I wanted to make you happy, Anna, so I took you with me. Why would you say something so harsh?
Look, I'm not going to be happy just because you brought me to Chicago. I was looking forward to it because you said you had planned an anniversary trip. I was excited about what kind of trip plan it was, but as soon as we arrived in Chicago, you asked me, where do you want to go? I'm not going to be happy with the trip that has no plan.
What?
At least you could have picked up some recommended spots. It was really just a trip with no plan. And you weren't even looking for recommended spots with me. You were constantly on your phone worrying about Stella's wedding. And on top of that, you said you hadn't even booked a place to stay. What's fun about an anniversary trip like that?
Well, I thought it would be better to decide based on the atmosphere at the time.
That's bullshit. Then when I suggest that we at least stay somewhere nice, you started saying that a room for a few $100s was too expensive for a mere half-year anniversary. The moment you said a manga cafe is fine, right? My love for you cooled off. So rather than wasting time in a place like this, I decided to rush to my precious childhood friend's wedding.
So you left me and went back to New York alone?
The anniversary trip was terrible, and you were only dating me for utilitarian purposes in the first place. I can't deal with such a horrible, terrible man anymore. So please break up with me as of today.
Wait, Anna. Sure, I had lingering feelings for Stella at first, and that's why I wanted to use you and dated you. But now I really do love you, Anna.
But I don't love you, so it's impossible. Goodbye.
You.
Your casualness and stinginess in trying to finish off the anniversary trip in a manga cafe. And you seem to have had a lot of fights with Stella too. It seems that the reason for your breakup was because of that, right?
What do you mean, stingy? I just like to do things as economically as possible.
Then you understand my feelings, right? It's not at all beneficial for me to date you. So I'm breaking up with you. Goodbye.
What the hell are you going to do, Stella? Because of you, I was dumped by Anna.
Huh? Don't blame it on others. You were dumped because of your dishonest actions.
Shut up. In this case, you should take responsibility and get back together with me.
Why does it suddenly come to that? Moreover, I just had my wedding yesterday and I'm already a married woman. There's no way I'm going to get back together with you.
Damn it. Well, if it comes to that, at least give me some money. Because of you, I can't get back from Chicago as it is.
Huh? What do you mean you can't go back? Just hop on a plane and come back normally.
Even if I wanted to get on a plane, I don't have a way to get to the airport. When I looked into my wallet to go to the airport, there were only a few dollars. I can't get on the train or the taxi.
Then why don't you walk?
How big do you think Chicago is? I'm currently in Millennium Park, but it's about 12 miles to Chicago Midway International Airport. That's a distance I'd only reach after 5 hours of walking.
Is that all? If you put your mind to it, you can manage that.
Don't mess with me. It's snowing out of season here. Are you telling me to walk alone in this for 5 hours?
Oh my, that must be tough. But I don't have any ties or obligations or sentiment for you anymore. Do your best not to catch a cold.
What? Wait, are you seriously not going to help me?
Of course not. Even though it was just an attempt, you tried to ruin my wedding. I don't have a heart as broad as Barhivita's to help such a person.
Is that so? Then can you at least tell Anna about the situation for me?
Huh? You should contact her yourself.
Actually, I haven't been able to contact her at all since yesterday. But even though we broke up, it's only been one night. And like you, she must still have feelings for me. She'll definitely help me, I'm sure of it.
If that's the case, you should give up. Sorry, but it seems she doesn't have any feelings or lingering affection for you anymore.
What?
It seems Anna has a date with the next guy today. I don't think that she even has 1 millimeter of affection left for you.
What? The next guy?
At the after party of my ceremony yesterday, she seems to have hit it off with a friend of the groom. So she's going out on a date with him today. She even contacted me just to thank me for the wonderful encounter.
What? What the hell? She's moved on too quickly. To go on a date with another guy right after breaking up with me?
It's you who's slow to move on. So stop relying on your ex-girlfriends. Then do your best to walk.
Wait. It's really impossible in this weather. But if I miss my flight, I don't have the money to buy a new plane ticket. Please, Stella. I promise I'll pay you back right away. At least lend me the train fare.
If you miss your flight, just hitchhike. So do your best on your own. And afterwards, it appears that Jace managed to make it back home by walking and catching his flight. He was heard grumbling to friends and acquaintances. All my ex-girlfriends are trash. All women are just frivolous. However, stories of his terrible anniversary trip and my wedding disruption have already spread far and wide. Instead, he's being distanced by his friends and acquaintances, who say, "How can you speak like that with such disregard for your own actions? You really disappointed us." Even now, when he invites friends to hang out, it seems no one responds. As for my childhood friend Anna, it seems she's been having successful dates ever since. I'm glad I had the courage to break away from the trip. Otherwise, I wouldn't have met such a wonderful person. She cheerily gushes every time we meet.